There's even one observation of a bonobo worried about getting too much. While being tested in a cognitive laboratory, a female received plenty of milk and raisins, but felt the eyes of her friends on her, who were watching from a distance. After a while, she refused all rewards. Looking at the experimenter, she kept gesturing to the others until they too got some of the goodies. Only then did she finish hers. This bonobo was doing the smart thing. Apes think ahead, and had she eaten her fill right in front of the rest, there might have been repercussions when she joined them later in the day. Privileges are always enjoyed under a cloud. Human history is filled with let them eat cake moments that create resentment, sometimes boiling over into bloody revolt. I cannot help but look through the same lens at a gruesome chimpanzee attack on a human, which curiously revolved around cake as well. The central figure was Mo, well known to the media for a string of incidents in his long career as pet chimpanzee. The last time he was in the news concerned his escape, in 2008, from a California sanctuary surrounded by mountains covered with thick brush. Except for one unconfirmed monkey sighting at a nearby nudist camp, and massive efforts with helicopters, bloodhounds, and surveillance cameras, Mo was never seen again. Mo had been brought from Africa as a baby and lovingly reared by an American couple who treated him as their child for as long as they could. But apes are too strong and wily to make good pets. The couple was forced to move Mo to a sanctuary after he attacked a woman and a police officer. They regularly visited their boy at the sanctuary. A few years before his final escape, on Mo's 39th birthday, they brought him a load of sweets to celebrate. Mo received a magnificent raspberry cake, drinks, and new toys, which would all have been fine if there had been no other chimps around. But this was not the case. The sanctuary had taken in other chimps from abusive homes and Hollywood trainers. While Mo was feasting on his cake under the eyes of his foster parents, two male chimps in another enclosure managed to break out. They went straight for the husband. My guess is that they would have attacked Mo if he hadn't been behind bars. Even though this incident has gone down as one of the most horrific animal assaults ever on a human, it is in line with how male chimps attack members of their own species. The two chimps chewed off most of the man's nose, face, and buttocks, tore off his foot, and bit off both testicles. He was lucky to survive, which only happened because his attackers were shot. It is unclear if the motive for the assault was territorial. Chimps don't take kindly to strangers, or rather had to do with all of the attention and goodies lavished upon Mo. The inequity of this unintended experiment exceeded anything ever introduced in our studies. If monkeys get upset by having to make do with cucumbers, while others eat grapes, you can imagine how chimps react to seeing one of them own the candy store. Mo's owners probably hadn't realized how sensitive chimps are to unequal treatment, especially if the advantaged one isn't even a friend. The main reason humans seek fairness, I believe, is to prevent such negative reactions. Even the monster of Malmesbury thought so, as did the sage of Baltimore, H.L. Mencken, who said, "If you want peace, work for justice." This is not to deny a role for other regarding feelings. The Golden Rule is universally appreciated, and most of us reach a point at which we genuinely feel that others deserve the same treatment that we like for ourselves. We easily produce this rationalization for fairness, which definitely adds power to it. But deep down we also realize what's at stake. Whatever noble reasons we give for fairness and justice, they have the firm backing of our vested interest in a harmonious and productive social environment. Other primates seem to adopt a narrower view, focused on immediate benefits, yet it's too early to conclude that they don't have a fairness norm. Studies on inequity aversion in animals have only just begun. When Sarah and I tested chimps on grape versus cucumber deals, we found reactions similar to those of the capuchin monkeys. But we also explored another well-known human tendency, which is that we relax the rules in close relations. Between family, friends, and spouses, we don't keep as careful track of favors and inequities as we do with acquaintances, neighbors, and colleagues. The chimp data confirmed this difference. Individuals who had spent little time together, similar to Mo and the other sanctuary chimps, showed by far the strongest reaction to getting the short end of the stick, whereas the members of a colony established 30 years ago hardly blinked. Having played together while young and having grown up together, these chimps were virtually immune to inequity. Social closeness apparently makes apes, like humans, less touchy about this issue. Inequity aversion will no doubt prove a rich area of research, all the more so since there is no reason to think it's limited to primates. I expect it in all social animals.